I've sat in executive meetings for over a decade, and here is one thing that we actually discuss when you're not in the room. Hi, my name is Beverly. I'm a COO and your Chief Empowerment Officer. One thing that we talk about are when employees deflect drama. Just because somebody's in their office or somebody looks like their head's down, everyone can hear everything. So when there are moments where an employee is maybe brought into a small group, maybe they're by the cooler or by the kitchen or whatever, and everyone else is talking crap about a situation or maybe a call that went bad, or they're frustrated about a project or an initiative, and we overhear, not even if it's on purpose, like a lot of times folks aren't eavesdropping, but if we overhear the employee taking the high road or being positive, or we hear the employee saying like, well, like I hear your perspective and also da 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 da, and like redirecting them back to the task at hand instead of continuing to keep up the drama, that is brought up. It's mentioned. And there's been many times in my career where an employee's name will be brought up when it comes down to performance reviews, when it's coming down to discussion about potential reduction in force. And when that employee's name comes up, those stories come up too. And they're like, hey, like they did a really good job of redirecting some drama earlier. Like I can tell they really get it and they want to promote a culture of positivity. And so you may not know that you sometimes taking the high road or you sometimes doing the right thing is actually getting noticed. And obviously, if you're doing a good job, you're doing a good job. And that is also a reason why you're there for sure. But sometimes it is also to the fact that you do not give in to drama, and we can tell. So good for you if that's you.
How to outsmart a gaslighter. So the term gaslighting is thrown around pretty casually, but it is actually a psychological term used to explain a specific type of verbal manipulation, where the other person is trying to get you to question your reality, to alter your perception, or doubt your memory. Now, one of the best ways to deal with gaslighting is one, think on the argument, not in the argument. In other words, don't get involved in all the details and the weeds. That's exactly where they want you. Think above it. Keep it simple. So if you feel like you're being gaslighted, first just grab onto that truth, that gut instinct truth, and don't let go of it, because if you start to get in the weeds and loosen that grip, it's going to be taken from you. And number two, I don't say this often, but disengage until you feel comfortable. Okay, their plan is to make you question your reality. And no matter how much evidence you show them of, well, I thought this, or don't you remember X, or I remember, that is all their playground. Okay, just remove yourself from that. Give that a lot of time and space until you feel comfortable. And number three, go talk to somebody. A therapist, great. A friend, wonderful. The worst thing you can do is not talk to anybody and be isolated. Then you just are all in your head. So get out of your head and go talk to a friend. So try that and follow me.
You didn't expect to be back on the job market, so why are you beating yourself up for taking a job you need to for survival? Hi, my name is Beverly. I'm a COO. I've been scaling operations for over a decade in a ton of different fields, and consider me your facilitator for Survival Jobs Anonymous. Taking a transition job is not only realistic, it's smart. So many people who are in my comments or all my lives telling me how disappointed that they are in themselves that they've accepted a job that they know is well below what they know they deserve. And yes, that is incredibly disappointing. However, it is empowering because guess what? You've got a job. No one's saying you got to be there forever. In fact, I am telling you not to be there forever. However, you did the hard thing, which was get yourself back to a place of somewhat stability. A lot of times people don't like transition jobs because they are concerned about perception. And a lot of times people feel like if they take a job that's too far away from where they were originally, that they will not get to where they want to go. That is not true. When I graduated from graduate school, I was working in New York and I had it all. I had a job that was paying for my rent in New York City. I felt like I was making a real impact until everything freaking crumbled. Next thing I knew, I was packing my bags and I was on my way back home because I had totally crashed out. I couldn't sulk for too long because I needed a job. These bills weren't going to pay themselves, and so I started applying to roles in my field. And the next thing I knew, these bills were piling up. I had a divorce to pay for and a lot of other things, and I realized, crap, I need to make money. So I had to make a choice. I started applying to retail jobs. And I said to myself, well, I know I'm a leader. I know I have the skill set to be a leader. So I'm going to apply to leadership roles in retail because that is what I deserve. And I calculated an accurate base and floor so that at least my bills would be covered. And the next thing I knew, I was a manager at a sports store. That job not only was paying my bills, that job was also fun as hell. I've been an athlete my whole life. And so it was a lot of fun to get to talk to people from all walks of life who were passionate about sports and movement like I am. And beyond that, it was regulating my mental health and nervous system in a way that I never anticipated. I didn't have to think about my bills. I didn't have to think about the rent. I didn't have to think about anything because I was now focused on just being present and sound of mind and body, and considering where my mental health was at the time, I needed that. And eventually I kind of decided, you know what? F it. I'm going to start telling people. So I told my close friends, yeah, I'm working at a retail store right now. I'm a manager. And honestly, it's a lot of fun and the discounts were great. I going to stay there forever? No. Was I still applying to jobs that felt more aligned to my skill set and where I wanted to be? Yes. However, I met some incredible people, learned a lot, and I also got promoted while I was there. I kept getting promoted to the point where they were like, hey, if you want to become a store manager one day or do this or do that, all because I reframed my mindset and said, you know what, like I'm going to make this work for me and continue to upskill and push up like I know how to do until I figure out what is next for me. And then the day came where I got an opportunity I was really excited about. And I made the transition on my terms. There is nothing wrong with making decisions you need to survive. The only person who can make you feel beneath yourself is yourself. No role is too small. No position is too small if it means getting you to a place where you can think, regroup, and support yourself so that you can get to the place that you want to be. So if you've accepted a job recently that you feel like is not where you thought you'd be at this point in time, that's okay. Validate it and then figure out a way to maximize the hell out of it. And then while you're maximizing the hell out of it, keep applying. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. And that's what I did. But in the meantime, I was getting hecka discounts, a ton of cute swag, and a lot of really great experiences and networking connections in a field that I had not anticipated working in. All because I thought, you know what, while I'm here, I'm going to get some skills that I might not have otherwise had working in my previous field. If you've made this transition recently or are about to make this decision, please head to my link in bio and get a free transition job checklist to help you regroup. That checklist is there for you to recenter on validating your feelings, understanding where you are currently as it relates to your role, and regrouping so that you can get back to where you feel you want to go or realign. And tag somebody in the comments who you know needs some support right now, because it is devastating when you feel like you are making your way towards one direction and then life hands you some freaking lemons. When life is handing you them damn lemons, make some liquor, okay? Make some liqueur. All right, spike it.
Need help with a difficult conversation? Try this. So sometimes you have to have a difficult conversation where it's tense, there's an elephant in the room, but you have to break the ice. Here's what to do. Number one, put your thinking cap on and think from the other person's point of view. All right, what are all the criticisms, the negatives, the concerns that they have leading up to the conversation, and put them in your pocket. Number two, when it's time to have that conversation, pull them out of your pocket and say them right from the get-go. Just beat them to the punch. So let's say that other person is concerned that the project isn't going to work. I could start the conversation with, you probably don't think this project's going to work. Or I could say something like, if I were in your shoes, I'd be thinking this project isn't going to work. And then three, don't say anything. You've given them a choice now to one, either correct you and say how they really feel, or two, say, that's how I feel. And now you've hit the issue on the head and you're being direct. It shows you're being empathetic, you're being attentive, and most of all, you're being confident. So try that. Follow me. As an attorney, these people are impossible to cross-examine. My name is Jefferson Fisher. I'm a trial attorney down in Texas. I cross-examine people for a living. If you want to beat me, this is how to do it. Number one, say less. Answer my question and only my question. Meaning, if I were to ask you even, do you know what time it is? The answer is